and this is Winter's SEO.
Hi.
And today we're talking about Warhammer. How you doing?
I'm
Yeah.
good. Yes,
Yeah.
We're good. Have you painted anything recently?
I have. I've painted a lot of stuff recently. I've been on a painting. I got my painting mojo back,
Nice.
but I'm not going to tell you what I've been painting. I'm keeping it.
Because you're
secret.
coming around for a fight soon. So you got to
Yeah,
keep it secret,
yeah.
keep it safe.
Yeah, we've just been discussing a fight.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes peeled. There's a big fight coming soon.
Yeah. Which
Have you been painting anything?
Be out by the time this comes. Yeah. You know, banging away at the Emperor's Children, and we're doing things all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I finished. I did a land raid look.
Oh wow.
To stick
Cool.
some of them in because they didn't have one, and that's basically the biggest guns in the Emperor's Children army because Games Workshop forgot to give them guns. So
They don't need guns.
they do need guns.
No,
They have lots of guns in the lore. They're perfect in blade work, but they're also perfect shooting you from a very long way away.
Yeah, but don't you have those guns that make really loud screaming sounds?
They
like,
have the noise marines as well, but they have noise marines, but guns. We also like guns. I mean, the noise is nice. Playing some classic M2 Taylor Swift with the volume turned up to 11, making everyone scream and drop to the ground and go, "Oh dear God, no! What is that screeching?" Yes, we do that. But a las cannon to the face also works.
Yeah, I enjoy las cannon.
Yeah.
Anyway, we thought actually we'd talk about Warhammer today.
Yes.
Instead of cheese, bread, different kinds of cream.
Blancmange.
Like my favourite is clotted cream. Just throwing it out there. Love clotted cream.
Cornish clotted cream, scones.
Cornish clotted cream with scones and a bit of jam.
Yeah.
Cream first or jam first?
You cream first because then it holds the jam on top. If you put the jam on first, then the cream can go everywhere.
I consider the cream to be a bit like the butter.
Yes.
But we're not talking about cream today. We're talking about Warhammer 40,000.
The top changes 11th edition Warhammer 40k needs.
Yes. The 11th edition wish list, some might call it.
Yeah.
We have a little chat about the state of Warhammer at the moment and what our wish list is for 11th edition, and maybe talk about some of the armies and some of the changes we'd like to see. Now, I want to start by talking about 10th edition because I personally think that 10th edition has landed in quite a nice place. I quite like 10th edition where it's at now. I think there's been some good changes, and I think I know that we're not really tournament players, but this seems to be like one of the most balanced periods of time for Warhammer because there's a lot of sort of 50% win rate armies in the tournament scene at the moment. Of course, there's always going to be outliers, but it seems like there's a lot hitting that perfect sweet spot to show that there's a bit of balance. And I've seen people, I've been watching a lot of people talking about the tournament scene, and there does seem to be a lot of decent internal balance in some of the newer codexes as well. People have been really enjoying that. But we're not interested in the tournament scene, are we?
No.
Are we? No. You're. I've heard that you participated in a tournament once and did okay in it.
Well, I'm surprised that you managed to, as I barely mention it, that I am the 2021 No Retreat Legend of Legends champion.
Nice.
Yeah, but no, I'm interested in all the 40Ks. The tournament thing, I find it fascinating. You can dive into that if you want to.
You can.
It just takes time. You just got to keep going and going. You got to ride that wave because it's always changing. The meta, the balance status slates, the things. You can't fall off the surfboard. You got to keep going and going and going. It can be exhausting to stay on it for year after year after year. So I climb back up onto another wave every now and then and just win and win. All I do is win. And then, paddle around in the shallow end of the gene pool for a little bit, for a few years. Yeah, I do both.
I've been following it a little bit. Obviously, a lot of the tournament scene happens. A lot of the American tournament scene is up on YouTube. They love that stuff over in the States.
Americans like to win, don't they? Everything's got to win. It's all winning.
It's all about the big wins. And I personally, I love these stories of people taking that really weird off-meta lists. Because obviously there's a meta that's established, and then everybody starts taking the meta lists. And then those people that decide, you know what, I'm going to completely break that meta and we'll take all this crazy stuff and then win. I love watching those videos unfold and learning about what's going on out there.
Yeah.
But I don't play tournament anything because I have no ability to prioritize getting like missions,
right,
completing the mission or scoring points over cool fights.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? It's like, I really want my Emperor's Champion to fight his Hive Tyrant or something.
Yeah.
So I just run all the way over there.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, that's not what you should do.
Yeah.
That's not how you score the most points. But I want to see a good fight.
It's the little stories. You see, that's the other side. If you're not winning and get tournament, then you're more like it does the Land Raider blow up and take out my Warlord who stood next to it. Do I manage to get Khan into close combat with Lucius over there? These the little stories that erupt, and when the dice are telling the story as well, that's the other side of the hobby, which I think. Here's a segue. Listen to this segue, which I think is one of the things missing from 10th edition. One of the top changes that 11th edition needs is another mission pack. We can have the tournament mission pack, but let's have another mission pack as well. Let's have an open war pack or an old Maelstrom of War pack or something in the main rule book for casual players as well. Because if there isn't a strong casual scene, then the tournament scene will slowly dry up as well. People don't start the hobby going, little Timmy doesn't walk into the store going, I like the blue ones, how do I win the LVO? No, little Timmy likes the blue ones and wants to see them go pew pew and punch things with chainswords. And that's how we start. That's how the casual players start. So 10th edition can have more missions, can have both the tournament edition and we could have, that's one of the top 10 changes that Warhammer 11th edition needs.
No, I totally agree. 11th edition could do with a nice catering to both sides of it, because we've seen this kind of weird back and forth where it's kind of like suddenly everything was like based towards making it like an ITC. It was ITC style missions, wasn't it? With
all the way through
things like that.
All the way.
And then there were times when we had our crazy mission cards where it's like, the twist is that everybody walks 1 inch and falls over because the gravity's really messed up. And it's like, keeping that balance, I think, is a key part to launching an edition that everyone's going to like straight away. Because I've noticed friends wandering away during 10th because everyone's got their own reasons, but I do think that there's a bit of a stigma about the tournament scene when you're not a part of it, right?
Yeah. And there is vice versa. I talk to tournament people and they see a bit of stigma about the casual, like that's not proper 40k. And but we can have both. They can launch 11th edition with a Pariah Nexus pack and an open war pack. They can have, we can have both. Because 10th edition, one of the good things you mentioned, the 10th edition, the actual core rules itself, I think we're in a fairly good place for an edition.
Me too. And some of the things in 10th that I adore, I absolutely love unit leaders. I love chucking characters in to add an effect to a unit. I love the pace of it at the moment is really good. There's like a good amount of killing, but not everything. It's not like crazy.
It's
not like
crazy.
It's fairly crazy, but I've seen it in worse situations where everything is guaranteed to die from a volley of shots or a melee. We had some at our last fight, which was 2 very strong melee focused armies. I think the pacing was really good with that. I loved how that kind of panned out.
I don't think there was anything left at the end, was there?
No, but the thing is, my melee is plentiful and low strength, right, and low AP.
Yes.
Your melee was less so, but stronger with more AP, and it just went to show that those two things together sort of balanced out well.
Yeah.
In terms of a melee thing, we could both do damage to each other in different ways.
That's Black Templars, Grey Knights on the members in the members videos Wednesday.
That's right.
And if you'd like to get access to more Winter's SEO battle reports, then you can become a tier 3 channel member, which unlocks an extra battle report every single Winter's Wednesday.
Now, one thing, sign up to that thing, by the way. One thing I really didn't know that I was going to like, but like a lot, which I would like to carry on into 11th.
Yes.
is the removal of chapters and leagues and things like that. Now, when I first saw that you didn't pick Ultramarines and then got the Ultramarines rule, or White Scars and got the White Scar rule, I thought, no, what are they doing? This is crazy. But actually, the way it's panned out, so first of all, it's fairly obvious for most armies what the detachments are actually going for, right? Who they're tailored towards. It's fairly obvious, so you can do that. But the flexibility of saying, okay, I want to play my Space Marines, I just fancy a change. I can play a different type of thing without having to do headcanon, like crazy headcanon gymnastics. Say, actually, my guys are... I think you used to say that your guys had been like training with the salamanders, so we're going to do salamanders tactics in this game, things like that. It's silly, but it actually does make a big difference to me, knowing that my whatever Space Marines can be other Space Marines completely legit. I'm not having to like come up with a little backstory to explain why my guys are acting this way or that way.
Yep.
The same with the factions where it really doesn't matter. So like Tau, for example, do people know, is there loads of narrative available about the different Tau sects to know what's different between them?
Nah.
And all it does is it meant that if you painted them in a certain colour and you were a super narrative player who felt like you had to play the sect that you'd painted your dudes, it didn't mean it. The Space Marines were the only one where it was really bad for me. Let me just put it that way. Right?
Yeah, well, Chaos Space Marines as well, they did that.
And Chaos Space
Eldar
Marines
as well, with the bikes and the spike challenge. But Tau, they got the Kroot detachment now, if you just want to run some Kroot.
Yeah, that is cool.
And I'm looking forward to 11th edition for the Vespid one. Just all Vespid all the time.
All Vespid, yeah. I want the Tau, one of the Tau auxiliaries is this tiny little psychic worm thing.
Tiny psychic worm.
Yeah, so one of the races that they're aligned with are these tiny little psychic worms that are only obviously written about in the lore. There's no physical model for them.
This is all new to me. Tiny psychic Tau worm things.
Tiny psychic Tau worms. And I just think they should just release models for those and you get like 200 in a box.
Okay.
And that you should just be able to have a detachment of those. And as you run around the battlefield, there's just these little like worm dudes.
How do the little worm dudes hold the chainswords?
They don't. They use mind bullets, I think. So
right. Okay. Yeah. How do they drive the tanks?
Mind bullets. I think it's all just mind bullets, actually.
Mind bullets.
So instead of tanks, they use mind bullets, but instead of swords, they use mind bullets.
How do they wipe their bums? They have a poo-poo, right? How do they...
Mind bullets. It's all mind bullets,
It's all mind bullets.
Yeah.
Wipe their bum with mind bullets. So if they miss, they shoot their asses out.
Yeah. Unless they shoot the mind bullets out of their asses.
Shoot the
mind worms are like just one tube, aren't they? They're like a mouth and an arsehole, or I don't know.
How do they get dressed? I mean, what fashion is like for their psychic mind bullet worm? Socks. Do they even wear socks?
I mean, they could just wear one sock.
One sock.
Wouldn't they? They just wear a sock. That would be it. Yeah. Just a sock.
Yeah. So. Yeah. That's the height of fashion, is the sock. Is it a stripy sock this season? Or maybe blacks back in for the psychic mind bullet Tau worm things?
Think about it this way. When they do their washing, they don't have to worry about sorting their socks into pairs afterwards.
Yeah.
That was just pretty cool.
Yeah. It's not like you lose the odd sock here or there. Like, where did that odd sock go? It's all odd socks to them. Maybe that's where our odd socks go. Psychically,
to the psychic worms.
They pull them out of the dryer and send them through the warp to they. That's where they steal the socks. That's where your socks go, people. Psychic mind Tau. It
has to be, because I know for a fact that some kind of portal does open, because I've definitely put socks in, checked them twice, and then they're just not there anymore.
Yeah.
So there is a portal that opens up somewhere.
Magic.
So I think you might genuinely be right.
Space magic.
Yeah. But anyway, they're the worms. Maybe they won't be in the next one. I don't know why we ended up talking about Tau. Chow's a bit of a bummer.
Warsmith Chris,
Yeah.
give me one of your top changes you'd like to see in 11th edition Warhammer 40k.
I don't think it's always going to be changes, but a wish list of what
Wish
we'd like
list,
to be
wish list.
added
Then
back into it, yeah, or an addition to it.
you've rubbed the lamp.
Yeah. So
what comes out?
I want to keep those detachments,
right,
and I want to keep the stratagems that go with the detachments,
right,
because I like having the little small set of stratagems that go with it.
Okay.
So I want that to stay the same.
You think they got that bit right?
In 11th. I think they've got that bit right. And
Okay.
I think I've enjoyed building detachments more than I have previously, where you had to choose like a specific narrative theme to go with. So I like it. I think I'm not sure. I'm sticking with.
We started a podcast.
Instead of
11th edition. Oh, I'm not sure. I'm just not sure.
No, I'm not sure what
Smocks.
I want to add just yet. I want that to come up in conversation. But I think my first point is I want to keep that the same.
Your first point. So my first point.
Just keep it in 10th. Yeah, keep it the same as 10th. Why not?
My first point is missions. Your first point is don't change anything. Can I make another point then?
Yeah, go
now,
for it.
Back to me, points. I want to make a point about points.
Okay.
Because one of the things I miss about points, you enjoyed making the list and the thing.
Yes.
I'm
going to agree with you already because I
Points.
know what you're going to say.
Yes, we need more granularity.
Yes.
We need more weapons, points, things change. Maybe they're never going to go back to what it was, where there's a huge thing which says intercessors, and then there's 78 different options about what you can put on the intercessors. But for example, Devastator Marines, there should be a different points cost between Devastator Marines with all las cannons and Devastator Marines with heavy bolters, for example. So, you get something out of the box and it says it costs this, but if you add a few. So in the points bit at the back, you can have the 5-10 guys or the 3-6 guys, but plus 5 points a model each if they choose X, or plus 10 points a model each if they choose Y. Keep it simple, keep it safe. More points
disagree.
Things, because writing lists is part of the Warhammer experience, and
Yes.
I quite like doing that.
I'm going to disagree slightly. So the current point system is a trick, right? The current point system is, you don't like power level?
Yeah.
Okay.
They
Well,
brought power level back.
how about we just hide it under a different name?
Yeah.
And it's annoying, but I don't mind so much the points for weapons not being in there as long as they're better at balancing the purpose of those weapons, right? So if you're going to have like multiple weapons on a unit, say for example with Devastators, with las cannons, then you've got to make their anti-infantry options decent enough to say, I want this unit to be anti-infantry spec.
Right.
Or I want it to be anti-vehicle spec. So you don't feel like there's only one valuable option. What I would like to see them return to is not having to pay the entire unit cost to add extra models in. Because
there's some armies that do that already, like Locust Destroyers in Necrons. You can get one.
Yeah, but not many.
Or 3 or 5. And like Plague Marines come in like 4s, 5s, 7s. And Blight Lord Terminators, again, there's a spread. What else? Meganobs for Orcs, there's a spread. So they've done it in some things for some armies. They could bring that back.
And not for others, yeah. I'd like to see it where you add one guy at a time.
Right.
You've got a minimum unit size.
Right.
And then you can add one guy at a time so that if you want to sort out the points for your list, you can say, right, I'm gonna add an extra couple of guys to this unit or something.
And then they can stop some of the silliness, such as like drop pods of a transport capacity of more than 10, which is because the extra guy sits on their lap or something. You can go back to 10, because then you can bring an intercessor squad of 8 or 9 and then attach your sergeant or lieutenant to them, stick them in the pod. Some of the transport options, some of the transport numbers for some of the vehicles got a bit silly in this edition because it's just X or Y, and you can't pick extra bodies or take away extra bodies. Yes, that's a good one. That is one of the top changes they could make in 11th edition.
11th edition. And you know what?
What?
If it has to come with the weapon, with the granular weapon costs for list writing purposes, I'm up for it. But at the same time, I'm not up for it because
Right.
things got a bit silly when they were costed. So
Yeah.
sometimes it was like, oh, this little bit of war gear, which is nice to have, but
Yeah.
what they've costed it at like 20 points, and it's like,
Right.
that's just stupid.
No,
like,
so let's meet in the middle somewhere. So it'd be nice if each model had a cost and you could add it. Let's say they came in minimums of 3s or 5s, and then it was like add a miniature, and for each one you add, it costs 20 points, 30 points, whatever. So your suggestion, and then the weapon suggestion, I'm only seeing that in 10, 20% of units. In the other 90, 80% of units, it's all the same cost all the time, right? Regardless of whatever weapon you take. But there are some units out there whose war gear options are quite varied, and there's quite a big swing between getting this or that. So I'm not saying all of them, I'm just saying some of them.
But don't you think there should be some considerations made in the rules then? So rather than having to put a granular cost on the weapons, why not make the weapons balance out better?
Because you could do that. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. This is where I'm coming from. There's 3 Land Raider data sheets.
Mm-hmm.
Takes up a lot of space.
Yes.
There could be 1 Land Raider data sheet. A Land Raider costs 220 points, and it comes with Godhammer las cannons on it, right?
Yeah.
And then below that, it could say you could take this as a Land Raider Crusader or a Land Raider Redeemer, and minus 20 points, done. Yeah, and it comes with this weapon loadout or this weapon loadout. And it's on 1 data sheet.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good example. Okay. Change this to either this or this. It's a bit cheaper. You could do it on aggressors as well. I mean, yes, they did that a bit in this edition. Like there's the Flamestorm aggressors and the Boltstorm aggressors have about the same kind of output when they shoot their things. Yeah. So some of them don't need touching. You don't need to touch the points on the aggressors, regardless of the weapon option here or weapon option there. But some of the things it would be nice to see a bit more, like orcs. Orcs have quite a large variety.
Yes, they do.
Things like that. You know, there's a few that they could touch. I think.
Yeah,
I think
that's fair enough. Because I do like this writing, but I don't want to have to buy every special weapon in a squad.
No.
And then have to go, oh, I'll tell you what, I can't afford to take the rocket launcher, the missile launcher with my Space Marines, so I'm just going to have to cut it off and things like that. I've enjoyed having, just being able to look at the box of minis and say, that's a cool weapon, I'm putting it in there, not having to worry, is it going to be stupidly costed?
Yeah.
Oh, the special weapon in that unit, they've priced at 58 points. And it's like, well, that makes the unit completely useless, you know, in terms of cost. It's ridiculous.
No, I mean, like one cost for the whole unit. Like, here's 10 Space Marines, they cost this much. However, if you want to give them X, then you add 20 points, and you. Yeah.
So you pick between your las cannon Devastator squad or your heavy bolter Devastator squad, and you pay a bit more for the las cannon Devastator squad.
Yeah,
no, I get it. So some people might choose to go, actually, I could do with some heavy bolters to put down, 2 wound stuff.
I've got a lot of other tanks with lots of lance cannons. I've got a lot of other anti-tanks, so that's 30 points cheaper there. I'll bring them with all the bolters to. Yeah. Options. I like the options.
Options, yeah. And honestly, that the ability to add single models.
That would be nice.
They've taken it away from all of their game systems, apart from the old world. So in the old world, you can still add 1 model at a time. You can make custom units.
And Heresy. Old world and Heresy.
Old world and Heresy, the older game systems. And there is absolutely nothing wrong. I love being able to... I've got this many points left over, and you can make it up to the exact amount of points you need by adding or removing bodies here and there.
When it comes to big swarms like Gants or things like that, It could be, instead of like 10 or 20, they could be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. It's not like, so for the big swarms, it doesn't have to be 6 points a model. It can be, if you bring 5 of them, it costs 25 points. If you bring 10 of them, it costs 50 points. If you bring 15 of them, so when it comes to big swarm, lots of big hordes of orcs or Gretchen or things like that, they don't have to, we'll meet them halfway as well. They don't have to do it for everything all the time. It can still be simple for the new people coming in. I get it; it's much more accessible. But for things like Terminators and Aggressors and the big
being able
things,
to run a 6th Terminator, if you've got one, nice.
Particularly when like Land Raider Redeemers have a transport capacity of like 12, so you can put 6 in it, or Crusaders 18, so that's 16, so you can put 8 in. Anyway,
well, they set it up so you could take a hero with the unit, right?
Yeah.
But if you don't want to take a hero with the unit, being able to take an extra Terminator and have 6 of them would be lovely.
And
it just gives you that little bit of extra output from a unit as well, so you can make units nicer. But I get the idea again of the sort of trajectory that us old grognards are having to get used to, and that is the fact that the boxes are being sold as a unit that you have to have, and you can't mess around with the weapons.
I think we are going to get some variety. I think that's going to come back. I think if I was a betting man, and I'm not, but if I was, I'd bet a little bit of money on that. At 50p, we're going to get some granularity back.
I would bet 25p that we won't.
Oh,
I think this is the future. I think it makes a lot more sense to Games Workshop to not encourage conversions and loadouts that can be converted, because I think it raises the accessibility bar. So if everyone's telling their mates, "Oh, the best loadout for this unit is to convert them with plasma hurricanes that you only get one of in the box, but you can make them out of this," it removes the accessibility. It makes it harder for Games Workshop to sell a box of something as something. And I think as well it encourages 3D printing, which I think is something that they're trying to figure out ways to avoid. If you can do all kinds of crazy weapon loadouts, people are just going to print them rather than buy the box.
I think the cat is already out the printer for that one.
It is. It absolutely is. And I think one day we'll have to do it. We'll have to do an STC on the 3D printer thing. But I can still see them holding on desperately for a while. And yeah, I think this is probably more of an effort to keep people from not firing up their 3D printers, because you get everything in the box, right? You get all the plastic bits in the box. They usually give you 2 loadouts now in all the new kits. You'll get like a tougher, lower attacks, higher damage weapon, and then you'll get a lower damage, higher attack weapon, and that seems to be the general flavor.
And in those cases, like I say, there doesn't need to be different points between them. But 50p, I'm right, you're wrong. We'll get back to this. We'll get back to this when 11th edition drops and finds out who's right. And then you'll be apologizing, saying, "Oh, Winters, you are so wise in the ways of the Force." And I'll be like, "Yeah, I know. Like Obi-Wan, he taught me all the things, and now I can swing my saber all over the place. Completely unrelated IP. There's no lightsabers or Force weapons at all, except on Grey Knights and Librarians. Apart from there's no Jedis
who have Force weapons."
Yes.
Which I still think I should be able to dispel them.
What?
I should be able to turn them off.
Turn off Force weapons?
Yeah.
So Grey Knights are rampaging around. They're killing blue horrors, pink horrors, green horrors, yellow horrors. They're killing all the horrors, and then all of a sudden their weapons turn off.
Yeah, and they're like,
that's bad design right there, isn't it?
It is, but I don't care much for Grey Knights. So
what?
There we go.
I don't think Games Workshop does either.
Let's move on. I'm about to say something really controversial, and loads of people are going to comment how much they hate me, and they're going to turn the podcast off. But I actually, this is another thing that I'd like to see carry over from 10th edition, which people don't like, and that is, I've really enjoyed the fact that every unit's got an ability on its data sheet now.
Do you?
I do. I don't think it's that hard to remember. I know this is bad coming from me because I forget shit all the time, but I quite like it. I quite like the little extra rule, the little bit of seasoning.
I don't think every unit needs it.
Probably not.
I mean, it's like rhinos are a good example. Okay, so a lot of rhinos have self-repair, recover a wound.
Yeah.
But then there's loads of different flavors of rhinos because of chaos and because of this and because of that, and then they all have all the things and all the.
Yep.
But it's a rhino. Does it really need a rule? Gretchen,
they're not all made of the same factory.
Do they really need a rule? And 100% of units across Warhammer 40k, can't we take 25% of them out of the things? They don't need all the rules all the time. Why? It's just, no, there's too many of them. Also, half of the rules are all, not half, but there's a chunk of rules which are the same rules as the other rules in another thing with a different word and different names, but they do exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Like sticky objectives is a...
Uppy Downy.
Yeah,
my
uppy downy,
armor of contempt, your chaosy fortified armor or something. There's a bunch of... So what you've got is lots and lots of words.
Yeah.
Some of them mean the same thing and say the same thing, but don't say the same thing. And then you've got a lot of words for a lot of units that you don't use anyway. There's a chunk of stuff that never really kicks in. You're like, the data sheets, and I know the data sheets where it's got this special thing on the thing. Like, if this thing does a psychic attack and it removes a model on that thing, then they take a battle shock test. And if they take a battle shock test, then they lose one. And there's all these dominoes, and like, that's never going to going to I'm never going to remember it. And no one's ever done it in the history of Warhammer ever.
Yeah.
That stuff can just, that can go jump. That we don't need all those things.
Yeah.
It doesn't make the game better. It makes the case clunky and slow and horrible. And you're wrong. You're just wrong.
But I like it. Right, I like it. First of all,
this is why you're Warsmith, Chris. This is why you lean to chaos.
This is why I'm okay. Yeah, I lean to chaos, even though I am fully dedicated to the Emperor. And I'd like to point out that the other option is to go ham on keywords.
Yes,
like in Horus Heresy, which I think is actually a lot harder for people than having an ability on a data sheet. I don't mind data sheet abilities. I have a better ability. I am better at remembering them than I am remembering my like Oath of Moment and like the faction abilities and the detachment abilities.
Right.
I'm better at. I don't know why, but when I read a unit's ability, and I'm like, oh, I like that.
Right.
I'm better at remembering that most of the time.
Because half the time you forget your oaths and your prayers and your things anyway.
My sausages, yeah.
But the thing on the card in front of you, remember that thing?
Yes, that's the one, yeah. I am all up for that returning. Like I said, lots of people can disagree with me. I don't care because I don't care.
Well,
I like it.
We can meet in the middle. We can go halfway. Okay, if you want to get deep on this,
we need to get deep on it. It's 11th edition. It's going to be big.
Universal special rules. Rending thing about it. They went in 8th. They disappeared and they weren't back in 9th, and now they're back in 10th. We've got a bunch of USRs in the main book, like lethal hits, critical hits, devastating wounds, lone operative, feel no pain,
sustained hits.
There's most of them are about the weapons. There's a chunk of them like Feel No Pain, Lone Operative, Stealth. There's a Scouts. There's a chunk of them that are not in the weapon section, but they're USRs. And you see them on data sheets all the time. This unit has Lone Op. This unit has Stealth. This unit has it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they got rid of them. And then they thought, well, a minute, it's actually a really handy rule. Let's bring them back again. What they could do in 11th edition, if you really want to lean into the rules and you want rules on every single data sheet, is add more USRs straight back into the main rule book for armor of contempt, for advancing and charging, for fallbacking and shooting, for all these uppy downy, all these universal things that everyone does all the time and is in everyone's data sheets, or not everyone's, but they're in all the codexes all the time.
Yeah,
there could be USRs for that.
Absolutely, they could be.
And then on the thing it says this one has redeploy.
Yeah.
And redeploy is uppy downy, or it can, and you know what redeploy is, uppy downy. But for things like scouts and guides, this unit gains redeploy if it is not within engagement range of an enemy model. Okay, so that one's just got that one. Or this one's got redeploy if it is within 6 inches of a board edge and not within engagement range of it. But you just put redeploy, and you can. There's lots of things you could do if you just added 20 more USRs, stuck them in the main thing, and then also, when I'm fighting you, right, you rock up with your iron within, iron without, hazard strikes, HR, health and safety army, don't touch the hazard strikes, don't touch. You could rock up with that, and you could play an army that you really play against, like Harlequins, zipping around all over the place.
And you know what they do.
And this unit does this unit does this unit's got it. And you're like, I know what that does, I know what that does. So they could lean into that a bit more. Put it a bit more of the stuff they took out, stick it back in again. That's accessibility right there.
USRs, right? I think that should be an official top new things that we should add. We should have in 11th edition. Right?
Yeah,
I agree with you. When you put it that way, more USRs. But I also think that the USR for Uppy Downy, should be called Uppy Downy.
Uppy Downy, nice.
Just on their data card, it will say, this unit can uppy downy if they're not within engagement range at the end of the turn. Or uppy downy, the rule itself says, at the end of a turn, you can remove an So we always know when it happens.
Sticky objectives.
So you don't even need to say at the end of a turn, if they're not within engagement range, you just say that the unit has uppy downy.
Uppy downy, that'd be a great USR, uppy downy. And it's all over the Emperor's Children Codex. It's in there everywhere. They get uppy downy all over the place. And then the Nurgler one gets sticky objectives all over the place in their codex. And it's called sticky objectives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Okay, I'm up for that.
Yeah.
And then some units, special units, get their own flavour ability.
Yes.
So things like Sword Brethren, or like the elite stuff, like Chaos Terminators.
Yeah, I'm not saying all the units all the time use all the stuff from the USRs. Say again, that's like 75% of the units. 25% of all the other units across all of Warhammer could have their own thing which doesn't rely on the USRs, particularly when it comes to things like Calgar, Mortarion, Sword Brethren, Flawless Blades. When it comes to the specialist units, it's like they have their own. Here's what I would do if I was writing the rules. 25% of the units wouldn't have any special rules at all. I don't care.
Like your basic
what your flavor of Rido is. Yes, exactly. Yeah. I don't. Gretchen don't need stealing objective CPs. They could lose that. Maybe not 25%, but 10, 15. There could be a chunk of units which just are their units.
Yeah, they'll have things like some of your battle line will have scouts. Yeah. Some of them will have sticky objectives.
Yeah,
and it's kind of like an understood thing that your basic troops are gonna. Their value is based on which of those USRs they get. So it's like, okay, I've got my scouty troops and I've got my sticky troops.
Yeah.
And they've got different battlefield roles, but you know when you look at them, you say, is that your scouty troops? Yeah, these are my scouty ones. And who are those? Those are my sticky ones.
And who are those? Those don't have anything at all. They're just gaunts.
Yeah.
They don't have anything at all. But they're really quick and they're really... Hormogaunts, no, they don't have anything at all. But they can move 10 inches and they can... So, a chunk of them don't have the things. 50% of the units all get the USR-y things and versions of, because it can be like Fullback Shoot and Charge is a USR. It could be called, I don't know, Swift or something. They have the Swift rule. But only when they... there's things... And then the Mortarians and the Specialists, So you've got a whole range from nothing to a chunk of stuff to the guys, they have their own. This is High Marshal Halbrecht, don't you know?
Yeah. Well, not just characters. I think it should be for like the elite units need to have their big separation. So I don't want it to be where, okay, my elite Sword Brethren have just got good stats and your elite Flawless Blades have just got good stats. I want something about their flavour and their nature that makes them special.
Yes.
That gives them an ability. So they need that ability on the data sheet.
Yes.
To make them stand out from anyone else's elite guys.
Yeah, and USRs
it isn't just a stat check,
are a good way of adding lots of complexity, which isn't really complex at all. Because
you learn them all and then it's done.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They got Uppy
Especially,
Downy. Have they? Great. Yeah, good.
if you call it Uppy Downy,
Uppy Downy.
everyone's going to know what it is. And if you
Uppy
call
Downy.
it Sticky, everyone's going to know what it is. But okay, they're not going to do that. But you could.
Yeah, there's like Deadly Demise. Deadly Demise on a 6, on a 5, on a 4. Yeah, that can change. There's some granularity there, even in the USRs that they've got, which they could
Sustained hits
expand
too.
upon. Yeah.
It all makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. That would be good.
I think that's a solid wish for 11th. I think that would be great. What about? Are you missing, or do you even care that sergeant profiles, or unit leader profiles,
right,
stat-wise, are not better, are no different from the rest of the unit? Do you care about that?
Here's the thing. Not really. I want to say not really, because often the sergeant in a squad is the only one who can take X weapon.
That's what they've done now, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So the sergeant suddenly has got. So it's kind of in there in most units. I don't miss it. I don't miss it. When we're talking about characters, I like the fact, like you talk about characters, they can attach to something. I think what we're missing is characters leaving units or reattaching to other units.
Yes.
That is more important.
Yes.
Like,
please.
even the Custodies have a rule, right? The Custodies have got a thing in their book, because there's only about 12 of them in an army, and it's a CP. It's like, if this sword captain finds himself on his own, you can attach him to another unit because his unit's been wiped out, cost 1 CP. That can be straight in the main rule book as one of their, like the grenade strat and the CP reroll strat and the heroic intervention strat. That could be straight in there. It doesn't just have to be a Custodes thing. The ability to leave a unit and join another unit.
Well, no, so I need to interject.
Maybe not leave, but...
I think it's very important that they can't leave the unit unless the unit dies.
Yeah, once the unit's dead,
it will just be incredibly abused. It will just, people just like massively load out a unit and use it as a delivery mechanism for incredibly powerful melee characters, for example. And then they can run out and do what they want. Yeah. So what you do need, though, is if you kill the unit they're leading, they should be able to walk up to another unit, get within 3 inches of it, and say, right, boys, if they've currently doesn't have a leader, they can join that unit instead, because they've been defeated. It's a sad state of affairs for them anyway. And I'm sure people could find ways to exploit it where it's like, okay, I'm going to deliberately put this unit out here, but it's still a risk, right? To try and get a unit killed to release your character and have them go elsewhere. But yeah, I would really like to see that as well. I'd at least, the very least, would like to see a way, if it has to happen through a CP cost, that you can a unit without a leader can absorb a character without a
it doesn't have to be a CP thing like the Custodes. It could just be in the rules. But when Kevin is on his own because all of his mates have died around him, Kevin should be able to walk up to the other boy band and say, hey, do you remember me? And they no, you're Kevin of the captain of the first company, and we're third company. We don't like you, Kevin. That's poor Kevin. He was left home alone.
They could even do it so that they could even separate characters and epic heroes, right? They could say, okay, epic heroes can't do that,
right?
So that you can't abuse it, because the idea is if you're trying to kill an epic hero, epic heroes are going to be a powerful dudes, right?
Yeah.
So if you kill their unit, you finally get a chance to hit them. You don't want them just cheesing their way into other units.
Does that make it too complicated, though?
Well, no, it just says that it's just USR for non-epic heroes. Because I've just realised the abuse for this, right? How about this?
But you can fix it. Like a sergeant, like a captain can only join certain units anyway. Like a captain in Terminator armor can only join Terminators. So it's just baked in there anyway. If all the Terminators are dead, Kevin's got his Terminator plate. He's not going to clonk around with the guys on foot running around with jump packs. He's not. That's not how that works. So
well, let me
he's still got to join the things he's got to be allowed to join. What?
It's suddenly just kicking into my brain why we can't do this, right?
What?
So think of it this way, right? Do you know what the Memnir strategist is for the Leagues of Votan? or the Iron Father, or whatever his name is. Okay, so basically, you've got, say for example, you've got a character that can give like sustained hits, like 2 sustained hits, 2 or devastating wounds, or some really horrible buff that really benefits the unit, but not the hero themselves. The hero themselves is weak, right?
Okay.
Now, the way you could exploit it would be if you have multiple units of the thing they buff all stand together, and you're trying to kill that hero to stop you getting sustained hits 2 on you all the time or something, and then you can just waltz into the next one. I think actually that can become quite oppressive.
Well, is it? Here's the thing. There is such a thing as precision hits.
There is.
There is also a CP stratagem called precision hits. I forget what it's called. No one ever does it very much, but heroic intervention something or other, where you can literally challenge out someone in close combat. So there's ways to mitigate against that.
Yeah.
And they could introduce more of that sort of thing to prevent the cheesiness happening. But, a little bit of cheese. I mean, if you do that and have the guy and have that's a lot of points in one place tied up doing a thing, which means you're probably weaker elsewhere in other parts of your army. I don't think it'd break it too much.
Okay. That'd be an interesting one to discuss, I think, if you've made it this far.
Yes.
Into this podcast.
I have, yes.
Yeah. Instead of saying a word, I would actually really like to know if that is too exploitable or not. What people think about that.
Characters joining new units.
Yeah, whether that would just become whether people would, obviously it doesn't matter for us narrative players because there's a certain etiquette to this anyway. And if you turned up on a Winter's Battle Report trying to pull like some massive chain of character jumping, maybe people would be like, no, don't do that. But it's certainly in a tournament scene, it could become
I think it'd be
horrendous.
What do you think? Yeah, in the comment section below, what do you think about characters joining leaving units?
Yeah,
do you think it would break? Do you think it wouldn't break? And why?
And if you don't have an opinion, horse emoji.
Horse emoji. Yeah, we do like the horse emojis.
Yeah,
I particularly like the people who write horse emoji.
Horse emoji, yeah.
Just write horse emoji.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you have made it this far, you're one of the real ones. Thank you for joining us on this journey.
Yeah. Really appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah. Talk about the characters, though. Here's another thing that just popped into my mind. Popped in. This character does, so long as this guy's attached to a unit, X.
Yeah.
When people forget to do the things, because the guys are dead around them, that's just very frustrating.
Oh, I see. When
my guy has lethal hits.
Yeah.
And now he's not with guys, and he's no longer got lethal hits.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Yeah. I'd say as long as the character... So if they don't... If 11th doesn't see us being able to move characters between units...
Yeah.
I mean, thinking about it now, I hate to keep bringing up the old world, but in the old world, you can freely walk out of a unit and rejoin another one.
And it
doesn't break the game. Yeah, and
it doesn't break the game. Yeah.
It doesn't break the game.
No.
But also, they don't have abilities that they confer to a unit either.
Yeah.
So, we'd have to sacrifice something that I like about characters.
Those units that confer to abilities, it's so annoying. They should have an ability... Yeah. And if they attach to a unit, that unit gains it as well. Done. Simple.
Or...
What?
No, you're right, yeah. An ability. And if they... Yeah.
This character re-rolls wounds. And when they're attached to a unit, they also re-roll wounds.
Yeah. Instead of, I've forgotten how to re-roll wounds now, I'm on my own.
Yeah.
It makes them seem really, really needy, independent.
Yeah.
Oh, my guys are all gone now. I can't remember how to fight properly.
Yeah.
Well, they should get stronger.
Or yes.
They should get stronger.
Even better.
They should be like,
They should be very, very angry. Yeah. Like lieutenants give lethal hits when they're attached to a unit of 6s.
Yeah.
But when they're on their own, all their attacks are lethal all the time. They're just very, very angry.
Yeah. Only if they started the game attached to a unit.
Yeah.
What they should do is every single hero, when they get down to one wound,
Right.
should double all their stats.
That would be nice.
And
Yeah.
all their hits are lethal hits, sustained hits, everything. But everybody just goes absolutely psycho.
Yeah. That would be completely fine on the Nightbringer or the Avatar of Cain.
Exactly. Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got one wound left on your Avatar of Cain? It's time to get murdering.
Double all the things.
I don't see any balance problems with that whatsoever.
No.
So
toughness 20 with 20, strength 40 attack. Yeah, it'd be fine.
Yeah.
That's
We're
a
just
good
gonna
one.
slip that into 11.
Yeah. Another thing that they could slip into 11th, which would be absolutely fine on that note, is like vortex grenades and vortex missiles and vortex bombs. Bring them back. That would
You know what?
If you lean into it, bring into it stuff that if it touches your thing, I don't care if it's a tank or a Titan or a Gretchen, you pick it up.
Yeah. Why not? Why not? No, you know what I would like?
What?
Genuinely, and no one's going to want this.
What?
Only me. Second edition,
Yeah.
right? You could customize your units with war gear, right?
Yeah.
So there was generic war gear
Yeah.
that you could attach to a unit. So you could be like, okay, I want this unit to also be able to do this, like have smoke grenades or
Okay.
something or other. Let's have an army. So you know how we've got those. In fact, I'm pretty sure we used to have this in like 5th or 6th, where you had like an equipment list. You could take extra fancy things.
Yeah.
Each detachment should come with a set of gear that you can equip to units, not just heroes, but like, okay, I want my unit of sword brethren to also have like hallucinogenic visions of emperor grenades or like holy incense grenades or something. But you don't have to take it. It's not baked into the thing. It's like an add-on for the unit, not just an add-on for heroes.
Would that cost points?
It would have to. Or
But you said at the beginning, putting stuff in with different weapons and different things shouldn't cost any points.
no, but we have enhancements right now, which do cost points. So it would be like enhancements for any unit. So you have generic enhancements as part of its attachment. So your Ultramarines can take there's like a list of 5 things that you can add to a unit for 10 points or 15 points or 20 points or whatever to fill in those little bits of points here and there that can customize units. So my unit of 5 intercessors and your unit of 5 intercessors go against each other, but my one I've equipped with sausage cannons or something. You know what I mean? It's something.
Yes.
Not sausage cannons.
Sausage cannons sounds a bit.
They're equipped with smoke,
Slanish.
so as they go through this area, they can pop like the smoke strap. They're -1 to hit for this turn as they run across here because you've given them a smoke grenade or something.
Right.
Just little things to customize units your own way. Adds a bit more of a strategy to it, right? And it's like, okay, well, these units need to try and get to that so they can drop some smoke on the way through here or for a small cost.
Okay.
No?
No, it's a thing they used to have. Like there was lots of units had things that you can pay 10 points, and this unit has smoke grenades, pay 20 points, and they can have cyborg weaponry, paid. Or this unit can pick 2 items from the Space Marine equipment. That was a thing that they did, that they took away, and it's still in Heresy, but they've taken a lot of it away from Heresy as well. There's only a few bits in there. So putting it back in 40k, I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but I'd love to see some sausage cannons. I mean, I play Emperor's Children, so sausage cannons sound great.
There's a higher chance of them putting something like that back in than giving us non-sprue loadouts for our units.
I think non-sprue, they're gone. The way of the dodo.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
I thought that's what you were betting 50p on earlier.
What?
Was that you were able to have like custom loadouts?
No.
What did you bet 50p on then?
I can't remember. That was such a long time ago.
I was talking about converting, like being able to convert weapons that aren't part of the box set. So
50p on.
So if you get 2 plasma pistols in a set, they'll only let you have 2 plasma pistols on a data sheet.
On weapons in the box, different loadouts costing different amounts for some units. That's my 50p.
I do understand what they've done, and in most cases they just made every weapon generic. So the old Terminator box was Chaos Terminator box was so annoying when they turned around and said you have to match the exact loadout that you get in the Terminator kit, because it had a stupid loadout in the kit. Had like one combi plasma, like one power axe, 2 chain axes, half a power sword, a third of a power fist. It was like, come on, man, you can't force us to. And then they just made it all like accursed weapons now.
Yeah.
So you load them out with whatever you want. I understand why they did that, and I don't think we're ever going to go back to, if you can convert it, you could have them all.
No, not convert, but they might be different options in a box. Therefore, if you load them all up with X, then they cost 20 points cheaper than if you load them all up with Y.
Yeah. All right.
That's the 50p.
Okay. No. Yeah. I do accept that. I will bet 25p that will happen as well at some point.
Okay. Oh, right. Well, yeah. Okay.
That's got to be an option, because they're always looking to tweak things back and forward.
Yeah.
So if we've lost it, it's going to come back at some point, right?
Yeah.
So 11th edition, I guess we're coming near to the end now, and
right.
I think we've actually come up with some things that, like, some genuinely good things that I'd like to see in 11th, and changes I'd like to make. But the big question is, to you, are we sticking with the current format of of stats on the data sheet? Are we sticking with the weapons have got their own stats and we only have like the defense stats for a unit? Or are we going to go back to old school stat lines ever again, where we have the classic movement, weapon skill, strength, toughness, initiative, attacks, leadership, all that kind of stuff?
I think that's gone the way of Old World and Heresy, right? That's if you want that game system, then that's in Old World and Heresy.
Yeah.
So there's a fantasy system and a sci-fi system for you, where weapon skill, ballistic skill, and then there is a library of weapons that you have access to. But 40k OS, it's on the data sheets. And I think they've done that for Timmy, and I think that's definitely staying. I think that's accessible. I think that's a good thing to help more people get into the hobby. Yeah.
I'm not against it at all. In fact, it makes it more fun now that I have separated game systems, because it's made me appreciate 40k more as well.
Yeah.
Because I can go back and play my consult weapon skill chart.
Yeah.
I'm weapon skill 4, your weapon skill 4, then we hit on 4s.
I said the same thing for ages. Heresy makes me enjoy 40k more, and 40k makes me enjoy Heresy more.
Yeah.
The fact that there's some variety in the spice there, I quite like it.
Yeah, I quite like it. And you know what? Despite all this stuff, all these wishes for 11th, I still think that 10th edition is actually a decent game. I've enjoyed it slightly more than 9th, and in some ways, I liked 8th more at the time. But I do think it is adequately evolved from 8th, if that makes sense. I think it's the way it's moved on from 8th is good for the current state of the game.
Right.
I like where we're at with 10th.
Okay.
So I hope 11th carries on in the right trajectory. Obviously, Games Workshop are going to watch this, take on board all the things we've said.
Yes.
Don't get rid of the attaching characters to a unit.
No.
Do give us more narrative stuff.
Yes.
Don't listen to half the stuff I said.
Yes.
Do whatever the stuff that he said, because he plays a lot of 40K.
I think the characters thing is definitely not changed. They sold a lot. Like before 10th edition, you had 1 or 2 characters per army.
Yeah.
Now everyone's got like 12. So they made money on that.
Yeah.
It's like getting rid of the Force Org and bringing in the rule of 3. They made a lot of money on that. These things are definitely staying for a long period of time. Whatever the changes they make, and they're like, oh, look, increased sales, that's staying.
Yeah. And characters are cool. Characters are just cool things to have, right? It's cool to have them leading unit, and they look right inside a unit. They never looked right running around on their own with an aura, and you have to measure the aura. Oh, that's 6 inches that way, so you have to try and keep them in the middle of these two. Nah, you know what? Forget all that.
Having a captain stood at the back with some tanks around him, so they can re-roll hit rolls of 1. It's like, what? What's he? Why is he back? No,
why is he standing there?
I played Space Marine 2. That's not where the captain is.
Yeah, Space Marine 2, definitely. This is why they need more narrative in 11th.
What?
Because little Timmy's played Space Marine 2.
Little Timmy has, yeah.
And little Timmy wants Ultramarines fighting hordes of Tyranids, but not being tabled in turn 1.
Yeah.
when his 5 intercessors can't fight 10,000.
I wonder if the microphone could pick that up.
Yeah, what is that?
That was the lad outside turned on his lawnmower and he's ridden it down the street.
Oh, wow.
He's so cool. When I grow up, I want to be just like him.
That's your little Timmy. He's the one affecting
the
your...
window's open because all the things that it gets, you know, you can get quite warm in here with all the items.
Anyway, thank you very much for tuning in.
My pleasure.
If you've got your own 11th wish list, just let us know. You can either do it on Discord. We've got a little... No one's used the STC chat for a while because we haven't really talked about things that they can interact with. But head on over... If you're on Discord, head on over and chuck us what you think should be in 11th edition. I'll have a chat with you about it.
Yeah.
Because I like getting the old creative juices going. But if not, chuck a comment down below. Not just for engagement purposes, just because I actually read all the comments and I read all of them and respond to most of them as well. So stop saying mean things about me in the comments because it does. I am reading them. All right, I'm looking at you, that guy. But I don't.
Apparently, you're really annoying.
There was somebody who said I was really annoying, but the thing is, I can't even be mad at that.
They know you so well.
Yeah, everybody agrees. So
he is really annoying. Yeah, particularly when he's snoring.
Don't snore anymore.
Did you get that fixed?
I've got the machine that stops me from snoring, so I'm all good.
The windows would rattle.
Yeah, I can now sleep at the end of your bed and you wouldn't even know I was there.
Wow.
So I will next time.
Okay.
Anyway. Until next time. Oh, one more thing, actually.
What?
One more thing.
What?
We took this away for a while.
Yes.
But I'm thinking about maybe slowly introducing it back just a little bit. If you are a member of the Discord and you've got some ideas for what you'd like us to talk about in terms of like one main topic.
Yes.
Put them in the old STC request thing. I'll have a look through them. And if we can trust people to not be silly, we might start taking some of those ideas again.
Oh, the problem was, I mean, they were being being
silly.
Yeah, okay, they were.
We're silly,
no,
but they were being more silly than
sensible.
we were. And professional.
Professional.
Yeah, like this professional, smooth exit from the podcast we're doing right now.
Is this smooth?
This is as professional and smooth. This is about as professional and smooth as we can be. Yeah. But anyway, go do a thing in there. You do the thing in there. I'm hot. It's really hot at the moment. Why is it so hot?
That's you need the window open.
I need the window open.
With the thing, with the draft, that's what you need.
Yeah. But thank you very much. And enjoy playing 40k, guys. It's a great game. And,
it's a great game.
We'll see you in the next one. Thanks very much.
Smooth, professional exit.
Tatty, bye. Love you. Bye. Cool. Exit smooth. Keep going.
I'm exiting. No, I'm not.
No,
it got caught on the thing.
Right, I've got to stop this before it gets out.
Down there as well. Sorry.